Okay. Well, today I'm going to first trying to install that. Rhapsody on my computer. So we're going to need that somehow. So I'm going just going to show you how to set it up, and when it's downloading, we will talk about something else. Okay. So it's gonna be. So we will need this URL.
So the license is temporary one?
What's that?
The license, is it temporary?
License?
Yeah, for the Rhapsody?
You mean the license we're using? No, you can use that. You can use the license, yeah.
For how long?
Well, I don't think I see a time limit there, so. Okay, so we download this thing and the license. Well, we download this 8.3.1. Yep, and we choose download using HTTP. Select for the one for Windows. Okay, I'm gonna let it download, and when we will talk about something else. First, I want to talk about the assignment questions I got. So, well, some students are talking about, okay, we are gonna have a very minimum use cases, like a play, right? Well, actually, we can say that. So there are different options. First, if you remember, when we're talking about the use case documentation, we have the main flow, the subflows, right, and the flow of arrow. Okay, those things. Okay, so if you put a play as a whole big use case, it's gonna be okay. So, well, you will have a lot of common flows there when you're like trying to move card or either trying to do something else in the play during the play. Yeah.
So the play is a use case. Can we say like, okay, how you play, and each, like, drawing a card, that's part of the play, right? It's not includes kind of, is that how? So, oh yeah, I have this question. Do we have to create a diagram and also a use case statements, right?
Yes, we need a use case documentation,
Okay.
which just the text description of the main flow, the subflows, well, in which you can say like a play, which have a main flow, like I log in and then do something, do this, do that, and then I reach some point. Okay, you have some subflows. One of the flow you are doing a play. Oh no, you are doing the move card. One of them you are okay. Well, what is the other?
Like you can say you can move into the foundation area, you move into different section of it.
Well, yeah, it depends how you like categorize them. Well, you can move it to foundation. You can move it to maybe discard some
Each of
card.
those actions will have different consequences.
Yeah, move it to discard cards deck. Okay, so you have those subflows over there. So anyway, you will have to include all those information there, right? Either way, it's whether you are putting the play as a big use case which has a lot of subflows, or you can break it down.
Okay.
Like if you think that is more clear to break it down, let's break it down. Because if you think that play is a whole big one, whole bunch of subflows, no problem with that. But nothing wrong with that. But just maybe if you make it too big, it's hard to read. Sometimes you have that of concern. So you can break it down if that's the case. You can break it down and then, well, you can just have a use case like discard, or move, or trying to do something else. Like anyway, whatever way you think is like more convenient for you or you're more comfortable with. But anyway you choose, you will have to include the same amount of information, right? Because you're just describing the system, how the user is using that system. Okay? Just different method of categorize this usage, right?
And you don't submit the diagram?
Yes, we need a documentation and a diagram. The diagram is pretty easy, just the actor and some use cases there. Right? So that is so easy. That the use case diagram, I think is the easiest one in the UML, right? But you have to identify them. But the notation is simple, actor and use cases. While the documentation, you have to spend some effort on that. So, well, let's think back a little bit. Why do we need the use case documentation?
Because you want to show them how they're going to use, how each actor is going to use the system.
Why we're going to show how each actor is going to use the system.
Yeah. So.
Why we are doing that?
And then you want to show
Yes, requirement.
dynamic interaction.
Yeah, dynamic interaction, that's one thing. When we talk about that thing, when we talk about these use cases, it's about the requirements. How do we gather the requirements from this description, right? So what functionality can we extract from this description? So as long as you describe everything there, no matter which way you did, the description is there. You can get the functionality requirements from your description, from your use case description. Okay, and if you like try to recall a little bit more, we further use the use case to identify the class diagram, which is a class, right? And we use the nouns as a candidate for class. We use the verbs as a candidate of the operations of the